Well, hello there, van life family, and those that are just even traveling, going on vacation, or you're just taking a break. So, I hope you're all doing well. It is Sunday, the day before Labor Day. So far, my neighborhood is quiet. I don't suspect it'll stay that way. I am a little bit more made up today, which is why I decided to show me today. I got dressed a little bit in case I had to go to the store for any supplies. Right now, I'm kind of focusing on one area in the van. I may not need to go get any supplies, but I took off a panel today. So as you can see, I'm going to try to do the camera thing. Let's see. Oh, there's my curtains and my mess. Black area still needs to be done. If I turn it, here's the silver. I turned the black into silver. And if I go down a ways, there's the other panel I took off. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. Holes, 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 holes. But they have it cut that way, the metal, because if you want to put a speaker in or anything, right? So, and then I get inside there and I'm like, wait a minute. Can you even see that? Maybe I'm too close. There's like some gunk in the holes, the little holes that were there. So hopefully you can see some of that. I'm not very good at pointing the camera, but at any rate, there is like stuff stuck in the holes. So it looks like it's a little silicone stuff. So, which is fine. So you can tell there's no water damage in there. There are a few rocks and stuff that got kicked up. I'm like peeking down in dirt, from the wheel well, because it's right above the wheel well. So I am taking the butyl tape, the silver one that's more shiny, and I like the shiny one. It just has words on it. If it didn't have words on it, I would use it even to decorate, for the trim. So instead I used the super butyl. But, and that just came in the mail. Yay! So I'll be able to do a little bit, but I'm still waiting on the insulation again. So I still have 2 packages. I'm going to use, I know I'll go through 1 package down in here, plus the scraps I have. I'm going to go ahead and, because it sticks, I'll go ahead and put that in there inside. I wonder if I can turn it one. See that hole? Like you have this hole, and on the back there's a little silicone, like whatever they stuck in the hole. So I'm trying to put the shiny tape over that because it's waterproof as well as heat proof, which is like why I like it. I checked on all these butyl tapes just to make sure. They put a flame right there and it doesn't light, and then they, throw the water on it and it repels. So that's all good. But I'm going to go ahead and put that stuff in there, cover that stuff up, give it a more kind of like a flat finish, if you will. I did spray paint white in there. The paint is on there. I saw a little chip paint on there. It doesn't look like it was, no rust. It's just the paint was chipped off from whatever was being moved around. So I got that going on. But other than that, I mean, it's good in there. There's no rust. It's clean. I cleaned it with a spray cleaner. But, I mean, like I said, these girls come out in shorts and little tops. They jump up and down and go, oh, and it's all insulated. And, wow, look at what I did. No, it don't work that way, y'all. So that might be after the fact. And they know how to edit. So then they can make it look like, we're just putting this up so fast. It don't go that way. So yesterday, all day, was underneath the silver panel, like I told you in my other video. So, and there's like 2-3 insulations under there. So that's going to be fine. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom because after all, it's a wheel well. And yes, things get kicked up, I'm sure, dust and that because it's a wheel well. So I'm like saying, okay, there's a little, I can like cover that seam there a little bit. And I'll go ahead and do that. And so I'm going to do a little something in there, and then I'll put the actual other insulation over it that has that sticky black side that I showed you in my other video, and then I will put the styrofoam over it. And the styrofoam I'm going to have to do in pieces because I can't just set one piece on top like I did on the other one. It's going to be a little tricky, but that's okay. The other big piece I have left is kind of cut into pieces, so I can chop stuff off and use it in here, no problem. So I'm not worried about any of that. I do want to get this done today. This is my main focus. Then tomorrow I'll go to the next one across the way there and get that painted. In the meantime, I did paint the bottom black panel to match the top here, the silver stuff, right? The silver. And so I'm letting that dry real good. Cleaned that all up. And it's quiet in my neighborhood right now. So I'm blessed in that it's quiet. So I'm going to continue with the butyl tape here. The dog is sleeping in the front of the van. She got up, started barking a couple times, had a holler at her just a wee bit. I mean, it's because people were coming and going, that's all. I did want to show you my back, though, because I didn't get to do that. So I'm going to kind of pan around, pan around, pan around. And ta-da! There's my lion, and hopefully you can see him. I tried to do it on Facebook. I think I kind of had it too close. But there is that styrofoam board of insulation underneath there, and then he's over that. I'm going to see what happens with the bottom. That panel does not come off. There's no clips to pull it off. So if anything, I would just put insulation over it. But I'm going to see how that goes. If I notice too much of a draft, you know, from that bottom panel down there, then I'll do something. But let's hope, right, that all of this will get covered and insulated. And then when we go to our lion, let me see, I'll turn the camera totally around. There he is. There he is. See, I got to look at what I'm doing here, or I'm not sure how I got it. And then underneath, it's just black. But we'll see. The other door is going to have the same. So on that other door. But I don't have the blanket yet. That's a blanket. And so I figure that gives me a little extra protection too, right? So there's another pretty one. It isn't going to come till between September 9th and 19th. Little more elaborate one, and I'll put that back there. And then I have the sheer curtains over, so if I do want to open the back door to get air, I can. So, at any rate, there's my ceiling. Those holes behind my head, by the way, I am going to stuff them when I get to that side. I just haven't gotten to that side yet. This side has the black, that black piece over the top, that plastic, so I'm really not seeing too much of an issue there. If I do, again, I can always add insulation. Oh, somebody's starting their truck across the way. There we go. But at least they're going, not coming with a bunch of people. So I like it when it's quiet. So I'm going to take my time today, do this bottom piece. I'm sure I'll get it done. I started early enough. So, but that's what you're going to have to do if you want to insulate. Take it step by step, piece by piece. I am more fixed up today, and I'm going to take my time today. I'm not going to wear myself out like I've been, you know, in the past, because I have all this week to work on this. I don't have anybody tomorrow to watch. Tuesday I have to watch granddaughter. She doesn't start school till later. My grandson starts before her. So, and then Wednesday I got to watch her again, but I do have to go to work, so I can only watch her till 3. I'm not sure how we're handling that. And then Thursday I have a gig at night, so I got to get ready for all that. It's a memorial service that I'm doing, playing for and singing, and I got to pick up the songs and have everything in order for that particular event, have it all in one binder. And there's a lot of stuff I got to do. So, and I do have to get my books out of the studio because I forgot to bring them home, the guitar and ukulele books, so I'll go and get them. And then I'll pull the pages and put them all together, so it'll be fine. But and I want to practice. I mean, obviously tonight is Sunday, so I usually do teach tonight, so I'll teach a voice lesson tonight. In the meantime, though, here I am. I'm in a house that hasn't sold, so what can I say? They say that the houses are sitting much longer now. There's more inventory than there are people looking for them, so especially mobile homes, it's hard to get those, you know, sold. So I always want to live in a mobile home. I did it. Do I regret that part? That part I don't regret, because I always wanted to do it ever since I was a kid. They function just like a regular home. Not a lot of problems. I have a septic system instead of regular sewer line. It works fine. I was always worried. Oh, septic. They say septic. No. It's only me. I don't have like a family of 7. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then I work a lot, so I'm not home when I'm, doing that, and I'm out doing potty out there, and so, But all the water is going down. It's not smelling. Everything's fine. So people go, oh, septic. No, it's not. So, just saying. So, everything is good. I am anxious to get going in here. I do want to go ahead and travel a little bit. In the winter, this is an all-wheel drive. I was blessed enough to have an all-wheel drive. So that is a good thing, but I don't know if I want to go through the mountains when there's snow. So October, we're supposed to have our recital, but nobody knows the date yet. If we would know the date and the time, I might be able to kind of plan around that and take an early trip instead of a later trip. If I have to wait till the end of October, going into November, not so sure that I'll be able to do that, because I would be heading to California. California isn't the issue. It's getting there, going through the mountains. I don't know if I take Highway 101 and Highway 1. If that's any better, it kind of dumps you out by San Francisco, and I don't know if I really want to drive around San Francisco. So I like the way I usually go, which is I take the 5. I have had no trouble on there. So sometimes it's there's nobody on the road. It's like crickets, which I prefer. So I may need to do that and just wait until the spring. But by that time, this thing will be insulated. My stuff will be in here. And I may start to cut back on using the electricity in the house and all of that so that I can go ahead and kind of, bring the price down. Do more stuff in here. Kind of practice, if you will. And be in here, and I'll still have the house there. For any reason I do get too cold, and I know how to improve it. What do I need to make it warmer? Do I want to get a little Mr. Buddy heater? I know you can. I'm a little scared of those, but I do have a way I could do it. We'll see. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see. I just want to use my head because I do have a dog. I don't think why do I always yawn when I'm on with you guys? Oh my God, I must be so relaxed with you. Anyway, I don't think she would jump up and knock the heater over her. I'm finally getting caught up on my sleep, you guys, but I'm still a little tired, so lots of things on my mind right now. So I think that's why sometimes I toss and turn more at night than usual. But other than that, everything's going well. And I just want to give you that update. So my butyl tape came today. Let me see if I got a piece of it to show you, so you know what I'm talking about. Because the butyl tape that you get at Home Depot, let me show you the difference, okay? Let me make sure here. So the butyl tape at Home Depot, if you're interested in anything, it looks like it's silver, shiny like this. It's got this blue thing on the back. Oh, that blue thing is a doody-doo to get off. So you have to kind of score the back with a pin, kind of like, and then you got to still try to peel it. But it's thinner. Notice how thin it is. So basically, it's just a tape. But it is waterproof. And that's what I'm just using down below here, because I had all that silicone stuff stuck in those little tiny holes. And I'm like, well, let me just put, a little bit of this over it. Then I'll put the actual stuff over the insulation over it. But I mean, that's like then, I have that little bitty stuff just kind of hold that. And then I'll put the other stuff over it, which is going to hold it more. And then I'll put the styrofoam over that. So I'll be all set. It is a sound deadening that I like to use, and I showed you that in the last video. But I did want to show you that other butyl tape, because I got to thinking about that last night. And I thought, wait, I didn't really show you what it looked like. I don't think I did anyway. So in case I didn't, I don't want anybody to not know, right? And I'm bending over here trying to reach something, so hence the weird shot. I don't edit, so this is life. Okay, so here. So the other butyl tape is like this. So this is thicker. I don't know how well you can tell, but when you pull it, let me get it actually in a good shot, in a good frame. When you pull this off, it feels like there's padding underneath. Now, it's not super thick. You can tell. It's not like real thick. But it is like kind of a spongy, more, it's called Super Butyl. It is heavier. It's a lot heavier. And I do use it for trimming here, when I want that kind of dull silvery look. But it's still silver, and things do reflect off of it, which I like. And I want the reflection when I put lights in here. So that's the goal. I don't think I want to put, there's a peel and stick tile you can put on the top. Daiso has something. I'll take a look at Daiso. They have one that's brown that looks more like wood. I'm not into the cabin look, sorry. There's one that's white. That's kind of pretty. But do I want to make it white? I mean, the van is white on the outside. Do I want to come in and have white on the inside too? Probably not. I'd like to do like a black, silver, and white look, but not all white, not all black. So, which is what I wanted to do in my house, and then that never ended up happening because I had to paint over too much brown, and I could be painting in there for another year. And I just, I paint for a while, and then I get bored with that, and I got to go on to something else. Then I'll come back to it. And I have gone back to it and, put some more white in there. But the floors, they're brown. So I'm like, nah. And at this point, if I'm going to sell it, somebody else might come in and go, yeah, I want tan walls and I want more wood, and you know, maybe they'll make it look more woody. I don't like the woody look. I don't like the cabin feel. I just don't. I don't know why. We've gone camping in the past. I've been in cabins. There's nothing wrong with it. If you really enjoy that, then you go for it. I'm not into. I'm like Minnie Van Lee. I'd rather be in the city. I don't mind camping. I don't mind being in the beauty of nature. I do love it. I think it's gorgeous. There's stuff like that I do want to see more of. But to live in it on a permanent basis until I get my cabin in the woods, and even if I get a cabin in the woods, y'all, which is my goal after a few years, the woods are outside, I'm in the inside. Let's make it look a little more modern in the inside and have the woodsies on the outside. You know, that's just me. But, you know, like kind of a little tiny house out there, but at the same time, the cabin still, to me, is like my mansion, you know, and have the land around it. So that's what I'm really going to try to save up for, is my cabin in the woods. I'm not kidding. Because when I am not working, and not working full-time anymore, and not doing the rat race, I want to be able to travel. So I want to be able to lock up my little cabin in the woods and go bye-bye, and take the dog and go. And when I want to be home, then I want to be home. But you know, it's my choice then, right? So anyway. So today is the Sunday before Labor Day, and if you know you're on Van Life with Minister Mary, or you wouldn't have found me, would you? So at any rate, I'm going to be on here and go ahead and work more on this insulation underneath. I pulled the black panel off. Like I said, it's already drying. The paint's drying out there with the glitter on it. I may seal it. There's a light enamel spray. You can spray it as heavy as you want. No, we're just going to like mist it to kind of hold some of that glitter on, because some of the glitter does fall off and when you're moving around, you know. So I just want to kind of keep it. I like it that it reminds me of outer space with kind of the black showing through. I talked about that yesterday. And it reminds me of all those constellations that must be against that big black sky out there, and how interesting that could be. So if I had something that looked like that, maybe I'd put that on the ceiling, but I'm not seeing that anywhere, so. But at any rate, I'm going to keep working on this. It's quiet in this neighborhood. Praise God that it's quiet. I'll be able to eat lunch. I'm more settled today. My stomach, I had such acid reflux the past 2 days. I know maybe it's TMI, but it was so bad. Not last night, but the night before. Ugh. And I got the Pepcid. It's been an issue with me for years. And when I get nervous or I'm worried, that's what happens. My stomach just produces all that acid, and I don't eat right. So I'm starting to eat again better, and I'm, you know, going to go ahead and take my time with that. Keep the Pepcid handy in case, and try to relax. My goal is, if I could just get the back of this done and start getting my floor in, I would bring the bed out here so that I can get used to having the bed in here. I did cut that bed down. It was so funny. I did not show you how I sawed my mattress up and used a scissors and then used a saw to the frame of the bed. It probably looked hysterical. I was sweating bullets. But I did it, and the frame is fine. I, you know, put the screws back in and just shortened it, basically. And any gaps I did, I filled. So, yeah. See, I like doing stuff like that, y'all. This is my thing. I'll insulate this, and even though it's kind of, because it takes a long time, I do see the end result. And when I know that I have 2-3 layers of insulation underneath, and it's pretty, and it's kind of water resistant and flame resistant, and there's a water barrier in there, and I did that, that makes me feel so much better, right? So, because we don't want to get any mold in here. That's the thing you got to think about. You don't want to start getting mold up in there, and then you got black mold going in there, and then you wonder why you're sick. No, 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 no. So we got to be careful with that. Do be careful. That's why I want to be careful of the insulation. I looked at that rock wool, like I told y'all, and that just looked so great. Like, I could shove that in this wall in like a heartbeat. But then I went and did further investigation and research on that, and although most people do credit it to, you know, like, yay, thumbs up, but then they start to say, well, it's not insect proof, and insects seem to like it. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's what I read a couple times, actually. And being that there's an insect, could be an insect situation, anybody knows me, no, if you a fly and you in here, you're gonna die. If you're a bee and you're too close, you're going to die. You don't belong over here. Go by your flowers. Go by whatever you're supposed to be by, but don't come by me. If you got in here then and you can't fly out, I don't know why flies can't fly out. They fly in. We call them flies all the time. Why can they fly in? They don't know how to fly out. Just wondering. But yeah, no. I don't like bugs. I just don't. I'd rather have a snake slithering. I'd rather open my door here and have a snake slithering down on the road here than a fly or a bee or a wasp. A snake, okay. I just close the door and let him be. Back up or pull forward so I'm out of his way and he can have the ground over there and I have the ground over here. We're good. But because to me, a snake, I know they hide in the grass. I understand that. Never been bitten by a snake. I've been stung by a bee a couple times, and I don't appreciate that. But no. And some of those hornets and bees are so aggressive. No. So that's why I said, if you come in my place, you ain't gonna live. I'm sorry. I know people like to catch the bugs and put them outside, put them in a little cup, and then take them outside to be free. That I'm sorry if you like that. That's you, but I don't like it. Then they're gonna go. So there you go. Just saying. I know there's a little bit too much information, maybe, but so I don't want anything that's attracted to, like the bugs would be attracted to. I don't really want mice to be attracted to it either. But I think with the type of insulation I'm using, more that metal, kind of the butyl tape, which is more like metal. I think we'll be okay. I'm not going to stuff a bunch of fiberglass down on the bottom. I'm using the other kind instead, the sticky kind of stuff, and it's really sticky on the backside with the silver on top. I don't think that's going to cause a major problem. And then put the styrofoam over that. So, and the styrofoam has some silver on it as well. So I think we're going to be okay that way. So that's my goal for today. But I wanted to get y'all caught up. And, have safe travels, of course. Today is Sunday. So think about the Lord. I mean, Sunday's the day we used to get dressed and all go to church. But I mean, really think about the Lord. Don't just be like, well, it's Sunday, we got to go to church because we have to. No, that's not how that's supposed to work. So love the Lord with all your heart, mind, and soul. And then love one another as God has loved you. And that verse about loving each other, John 13. And go verse 34. I believe it was 34. So I looked it up this morning because I'm like, I keep saying it. And people are going to wonder, well, is it really in the Bible? Like, where's she looking? So it's in the book of John, and it's chapter 13. And if you don't know, you can Google it or ask your nearest AI because they will tell you. So I don't want to say her name on here because then she'll answer me, and then it's a whole nother story. But you can ask. They will direct you. And look it up. And buy yourself a Bible if you don't have one. Have the paper copy, and you can flip through the pages and look it up and highlight it and write notes in it and do what you need to do to study it. But I just thought I'd throw that in there for you. But do love one another as the Lord has loved you, and do help one another. And if you see a need, fill it, if you can. I had somebody call me in crisis the other day and just kind of was venting, I think, and kind of telling me what all was happening. And I really, honestly felt bad and for her situation, but there was nothing I could do about it. But I know she needed to vent. We talked again today, and she said, oh, I didn't want anything from you. I know that. But I also know if I would have had, I would have done. I just don't. I've got to, all my money right now is tied up in this van, and once the house sells, I'll have the extra money, and then I can breathe and pay off stuff, which is the goal. Pay it off in full, paid in full. Get out of debt. And then then when you have the Social Security and you've got your cash flow much bigger, you hang on to that. Keep throwing that on the side. Whether you want to tuck it under your mattress or whether you want to stick it in a bank, that's up to you. But the bottom line is you're going to have it. And then when times come and you need it, it's there. So that's the goal. One of the reasons for me selling the house is, of course, to spread God's word, but at the same time, I'm not a dum-dum either. You hang on to some of that stuff before you know it. 2-3 years, you can get your tiny home, cabin in the woods. By the time I'm 68, I'm set. And I don't have to worry when I'm 70, where am I going to live? Are my kids going to take me in? Am I going to be in the retirement home? Do I got to go live with all the other seniors? No, I do not want to do that. So, and who knows, we might rapture before then. So, that'd be good too. So, I'll have a new home in heaven. So, I'm just saying all that to let you know, just hang on to Jesus. Times are weird. Like I said, things are more wonky than they used to be. And things that go on now. Right? So, look at that beautiful sun popping through my van. There you go. Got a little something. Little light in here without turning any lights on. I leave the door open a little bit. The lights go off automatically. If you ever wonder, like, she's got her door open. Oh, no, what about her battery? No, it's set on a timer, which I'm so grateful for. Because years ago, remember, they didn't, and then your battery was shot. No, they turn off. So you can leave, that's why you can leave the door open a little bit. But I love getting a little bit of air in here and a little air circulation and little natural light. I like that. And so I thought I'll get myself a little made up today and work a little bit in here, not kill myself, take breaks in between, and then that way I won't be all nasty looking. As usually I work and don't stop. Today I'm going to stop for myself for lunch when I'm hungry, and I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this. By the end of the day, this piece will be done and back on. Tomorrow, I'll go for that big piece behind me because it's like the one over here on this side. Get that done. Then we got 2 done. Right? And then underneath. But I have to wait for some of that insulation to come through because I ordered it. Now, I don't know why it's showing only 1. I thought I ordered 3 of them. So I'm like, where's the other 2? I got to look at that. See how I ordered that. But I do have 2 here. I know 1 will definitely go on this bottom. I'm pretty sure it'll take almost that whole thing. Anything left over up on the ceiling. Because I think I told you in my last video, there's one little section right there that's no silver stuff. And that's got to go on there. And I have the super butyl tape now. I can make the ribs. And I'll go over the ribbing there like I do. I'm keeping it silver. I mean, y'all probably say she crazy. But I'm going to keep it silver because if I put the lights on and it reflects off of there, like a dance hall. Think about like that ball, you know, that shows the lights. So I'm going to kind of have my whole thing. I should buy them little balls that hang from the ceiling, you know, when you're in a dance hall, doing the disco, you know, remember years ago? And we could have the lights like reflecting everywhere. I could be dancing up in here, huh? Dancing in my dreams. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to get off of here. And hey, just hang in there. And do love one another as the Lord has loved you. So I'm going to say aloha nui loa. Love you much. And mahalo nui loa. Thank you so much for watching. And keep checking in. I mean, these, I'm not getting really high, you know, views, high number of views. But if you could please at least take a peek and give me the ta-ta and subscribe. So, you know, a couple more subscribers would be nice. And I'm certainly not going to be monetized for a while. But, you know, sometimes it takes a few years. And as I start traveling and as I start going along, you know, people will be looking and say, oh, what's she doing now? You know, just kind of see what my little shenanigans are. My doggie, for that matter, she's sleeping on the front seats. She got up before, gave her a little something to eat. She's sleeping back on the seat again. Walked her around a little bit, and she went potty, and she's back sleeping. So, and that's what I'm going to do. I have her out here with me today, and she can go for little walks, and we're just going to chill and take it easy. So that's what we're doing today. So you guys, I'll see you in the next video. I don't know if you'll see me or just the van, depending on how I look. Today, I actually have makeup on, so I won't hopefully scare small children. The hair is tied over more to the side, and so a little bit nicer than what it usually looks like when I'm working real hard. And I put my little top on with my little shoulder sticking out. Woohoo! I have to be careful of the sun. I do get sun damage now from previous. So a lot of times you'll see me with long sleeves on because otherwise you'll kind of notice. I don't know if you can see that little rash sticking out. But it's under the skin. It's not on top of the skin, nor is it contagious. It's past sun stuff. So I just have to be careful now that I'm a little bit older and just can't be, you know, baking in it anymore like I used to. So there you go. So I will definitely talk to you in the next video. I'll keep you updated when I get this panel all done and it's all pretty. You'll definitely see it. I might not go every single day because it's going to be more of the same. I don't want to bore you to death. So we may, you know, wait a couple days, and then when I get this done and get the other one done, say, hey, we're this far, da-da-da, you know, kind of let you know. All right, so do take care of one another. Please help one another. And like if you see a need, do fill it. But definitely love one another. And, you know, you can show that even just by smiling at someone or saying hi. You know, it don't have to be overly friendly or anything, but just, you know, I know when we walk on the trails, a lot of times people come by and say, hi, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? You know, just greeting each other. Sometimes that just brightens up the day because nobody's really talking to you. But then you have somebody comes along and says hi. That kind of makes you feel a little better. So do share at least that. Share a smile. It does go a long way. All right, you guys, I'm going to get off of here and get back to work. So I will see you in the next video. If not me, my van will see you in the next video. And probably the dog. Because right now she didn't jump up. She did on my live. I got a live on Facebook. But, yeah, she's looking around. She hears my voice. So I will see you later. Bye for now. See you in the next video. Aloha.